It was right here on Quora. A guy named Joe was posting derogatory comments about homeless people on my answers about homelessness. At first, I was polite about it, telling him where he was wrong. Then he got more abusive, so I decided to check out his profile before reporting and blocking him. He claimed in several answers to have a PAAHDAADDDDHEHE. Fine. Lots of people do, me included. Unfortunately for him, he claimed to have one from my university. Being American, he thought choosing a random UK university meant no one would be able to spot his ruse. He was wrong. I checked him out at the uni library. No record. That's strange. They have a copy of every doctoral thesis since they were founded. Maybe someone borrowed it and never put it back? Time to check the doctoral fellow listings. Not on there either. Time to confront him. Well, wouldn't you know it, but there's a perfectly reasonable explanation. You see, he attended my university in 1979. No computer records back then. Something was still gnawing at my brain. He has the same qualification as me, from the same university as me, in the same field of study as me. But the university has no record of him. Could he be lying? Surely not. I mean, why would someone want to lie on the internet? I mentioned everything I found, or rather, didn't find, and asked for an explanation. So to prove he was telling the truth, he posted his PAAHDAADDDHEHE certificate. Well, consider me chastised. My sincerest apologies, Mr. Joe. You were right, and I was wrong. Except the gnawing brain thingy. It was still there. I needed to have a closer look at that certificate. Something isn't right here. His certificate didn't look like mine. They should be identical. After all, same uni, same qualification, same field. Remember? I did a quick search on Google Images for other examples of SOTs from my uni, and they were all the same, except for the obvious fakes on the fake id websites. I already had all the proof I needed, but I still wanted something else. Something more concrete. It was staring me in the face the whole time. Fonts. I'm a font nerd. One of the fonts this moron used on his PAAHDAADDDHEHE certificate from 1979 wasn't designed until 1982. What do you know? People do lie online. Husband's car wouldn't go in reverse, so we took it to a local mechanic. I had been to that mechanic in the past with my car, and he was trying to charge me for a $3,000 part or work that turned out to be simple loose bolt. Phew, glad I got a second opinion on that one. So I didn't trust him, but husband thought it'd be okay. Husband was without a car for longer than the time the mechanic had said, about a couple weeks. Mechanic kept telling husbands how'll be tomorrow. 2 days, next week, total run around. Finally, my husband down there and the car wasn't there. I asked the mechanic where the car was. He didn't know. He said he had someone pick it up to fix it. I asked, who is the guy and where is the car? Somewhere in the neighboring town. That's all he knew. He said he didn't know how to get to that town, which I knew was a lie. Anyone who lived in the area, as long as I knew he had, would know how to get to that town. I asked, you let someone take our car without telling us, and you don't know where it is? Are you serious? Husband was really upset, but I said let's go, and we drove straight down to the police station. We shared the story, and we were told that the mechanic was probably getting ready to sell the car because they'd had multiple complaints against him. An officer followed us back to the shop and asked the mechanic about the car. The officer got pretty much the same answers we did, but told him he needed to have that car back in 24 hours or he'd be charged with auto theft. Next day, husband got a call. The car was back and fixed at close to $4,000. Just a few days after picking it up, the original problem with the transmission happened again. We had the car towed to our home, and I filed a complaint with small claims court for our money back, plus court costs. The court date came and the mechanic actually showed up. That was a surprise. He came and talked to us and said he was selling property in California and would be able to pay us the money, but not that day. We went with him to speak to the judge, who told him he'd have a month to get the money and set a new court date. New court date came. Husband got a call from him. The mechanic said his father passed away in California and he was out there so he wouldn't be in court. We went to court, told the judge what he told us, and the judge said give him the benefit of the doubt and set a third court date. After leaving court, I dropped my husband off at work and, on the way home, went right to the mechanic's shop. He was standing outside smoking a cigarette. I turned around and drove in. He was nowhere to be found, but I asked one of the employees if he was there. Employee said yes and went with me looking for him. I was not about to leave. He was hiding in the bathroom and I was going to stay there if it took all day and night. Finally, he came out, and I had my phone's video on. I told him I was so sorry to hear that his dad died, but I suspected the judge would be very interested in what I had to show him. Then I turned and walked to my car. He came running after me and said, "Meet me at the bank, I'll have your money."